Hey guys, what's up? This is Eddie. Today is March the 26th. All right, so we're going to close out the week with one final video. So today we're going to talk about making a strong offer. So as I have discussed multiple times, we are in an extreme seller's market. Inventory is still historically low. So there's a lot of competition out there when you're on the buyer side. So basically what the sellers are doing, they're kicking back, licking their chops, just sitting back, waiting for these offers to come in. So, and then they're going to sift through the offers and they're going to select the offer. Typically, that brings them back the most money and it has the most or the best preferred terms. All right. So these are 10 things that you should consider when writing and submitting an offer. All right. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Hold 1 second. Okay. So making a strong offer, top 10 things to consider. All right, number one, offering price. Now, it goes without saying that obviously the higher the offering price, the stronger your offer is going to be. I'm not going to even bother to explain that, but this is not the market for you to come in lower than the asking price. Just not happening these days. Now, if you can get it at the asking price, that's excellent. But most homes are having multiple offers, and typically the one that wins is actually above the listing price. So offering price is going to be critical. All right, number two, are you asking for the seller to contribute to your closing costs? All right, so most loans will allow you to ask for the seller to contribute to a portion of your closing costs. Now, should you do that? Now, as we're talking about submitting a strong offer, remember the seller is going to be looking for the offer that gives them the most money back. In most regards, that's going to be the number one priority for most sellers. So if you're asking them to contribute to your closing costs, then you're probably not going to have the strongest offer. Number three, earnest money deposit. So how much money are you offering for your earnest money? This used to be something that really wasn't paid too much attention to, but now everything matters. So they're actually even looking at how much money you're putting down for earnest money. Now, if you go to new construction, it's even more. Now you have most builders are asking for 1% down, 2%, and even 3%. So if you're building a $300,000 home, you can be putting as much as $9,000, $10,000 down for earnest money. All right, so your earnest money deposit does matter. The more you put down, the stronger your offer is gonna appear to the seller. All right, your loan type matters as well. Remember, everything matters. So the most preferred loan type that most sellers and sellers agents like to see is the conventional loan. So the conventional loan typically means that the buyer is going to have a higher credit score and a lower debt income ratio. So they're seen as less of a risk. So if you can get a conventional loan, that will be the most preferred loan. Also, the appraisals are less stringent with conventional. The only other loan types are typically government backed. You have FHA, VA, USDA. So the appraisals are a little more stringent. So if you can bring me a conventional buyer, then I'm going to feel really good about that. So your loan type does matter. All right, down payment assistance. Are you involved in a down payment assistance program? So basically what the sellers are trying to do is they're trying to assess your strength as a buyer. So if they see that you're involved in a down payment assistance program, that may draw a red flag for them. Now it's neither here nor there to us. If you can get money, you get it. But you just need to be aware of how the seller is going to view that as well, because sometimes the down payment assistance program could have more limitations. Sometimes they have a second underwriting process. So, that increases the risk. So even if you make it through the lender's underwriting, you go to down payment assistance program and they underwrite it again, that could bring up some issues. So it's just something that the sellers are going to be looking at. All right, how soon can you close? So typically the sooner you can close, the better. And now we're having some buyers and some lenders that are, saying that they can close in 21 days or less now. So if you have a lender that can close quickly, that has a great reputation, we'll talk about that a little later, but you may want to try to, close as quickly as possible. Now, what can you do? You can make sure that the lender has all of your paperwork that you can send them. So they're going to want your driver's license. They're going to want a copy of your social security card. They're going to want your last 2 bank statements. They're going to want your last 2 pay stubs. They're going to want their last 2 W-2s. They're going to want your last 2 tax returns. So knowing that, you can go ahead and make sure that they have all of that up front. So if you get the contract, if the seller selects your contract, you can go ahead and submit that contract and they can submit your file to processing already. So if you do it the other way, you get the contract, now you got to go and find and put all this paperwork, and time is of the essence. So you want to try to streamline the process as much as possible. So go ahead and get this paperwork to your lender beforehand. All right, is this an as-is contract? So most contracts, you're going to have a due diligence period, typically 10 business days due diligence. That gives you time to do your due diligence. You can have any type of inspection that you want, and then you can use those inspections to ask the seller to make repairs. Now we're seeing some buyers, waiving the repair addendum altogether, just saying, this is as is. I may have inspections, but I'm not going to ask you to repair. And you have some that are saying, you know what, we're not going to even have the period. You don't even have to worry about it. We're purchasing the home as is. So if you can do that, obviously that's going to strengthen your hand, because if I have someone that I know they're not going to ask me to make expensive repairs versus someone where I'm hoping they're not going to, obviously the one that I don't have to worry about, that's probably going to be the one that I select if everything else is equal. All right, the appraisal contingency. We're actually seeing buyers nowadays waive the appraisal contingency. Now, I don't think I would ever recommend this for one of my buyer clients, but we have people out here doing it in this market. So basically, the appraisal contingency kind of protects the buyer from overpaying for a home. So the appraisal contingency says if the home does not appraise, then you don't have to move forward. So because the bank is only going to give you what it appraises for. So let's just say you write an offer for $300,000. The home only appraises for $295,000. All right. So typically what will happen is the buyer and the seller will negotiate down to that $295,000, or they'll come halfway or something like that. But now buyers are saying, you know what? Don't worry about that appraisal contingent. I'm going to offer $300,000. If it doesn't appraise, I'm going to bring the difference in. Now, I don't know if I would ever recommend that for any buyer, but if you want the home bad enough and you have the money like that, then this is what we're seeing some buyers doing. All right. Next, are you asking for a home warranty or other things in the contract? Now, I wouldn't recommend if you're competing with someone else asking for these things. You can, obviously, but once again, the seller is going to be looking at the offer that has the least red flags, less red tape. They just want a straight offer. Don't ask me for anything. Just offer me the money, and that's it. That's what they're looking for these days. And in a lot of cases, that's what they're getting. So if you're asking for the home warranty and some other things, it's probably not going to put you in the best position. All right. And finally, who is your lender? Who is your real estate agent? Who is the closing attorney? All of these things matter. Remember, in this market, everything matters. So you want to make sure that you have a reputable lender. Because the sellers are going to want to know, what's your experience with this lender? Do they typically close on time? Are they good communicators? Do they answer your phone calls? So all of this stuff matters. Once again, I always recommend that you Google the professionals that you're going to be working with. That includes your lender, your real estate agent. You have some agents out there that don't have the best reputation. So Google them, see what their past clients have to say about them. Same thing for the closing attorney. So most sellers are going to want to work with people that are going to help them out, not be a hindrance, not going to be a headache. So reputation matters. So these are the top 10 things that you need to consider when you're making your offer to purchase your home. All right, if you have any questions, as always, you can hit me up, you can call me, you can email me. It's my mission, it's my desire to help as many people as possible reach their home ownership goals. If you know anyone that's looking to buy or sell, it would be a blessing. It would be an honor, a privilege to help them. Please consider referring me. As always, may God bless you. Heaven continually smile upon you. Y'all have a great weekend. Thanks.